Good morning, dear students. Here I am coming up with three more diseases. Yesterday we talked about typhoid. What is the pathogen? What are the symptoms and the diagnosis test that can be done to see the presence of Salmonella typhi in the body? So today we're going to discuss about another three diseases. The very first one is called pneumonia. Pneumonia is a lung disorder in which pathogens like Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae are the two causative organisms, so we can call them as pathogens. Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. So how it gets transmitted? A healthy person acquires infection by inhaling the droplets. So you can say that air is the one which acts as a vector. So if any person suffering from pneumonia, when he or she cough or sneeze, these droplets can move into the air, and whoever inhales those droplets or aerosols, or it can be like sharing the glasses and utensils with the infected person. When he is holding a glass tumbler, like after sneeze, without cleaning it, if any other healthy person comes and holds the same tumbler, when he rubs his hand to his nose or mouth, the infectious bacteria like Streptococcus pneumonia and Haemophilus influenzae can pass from a patient to a healthy person. And here, the symptoms of this pneumonia disease includes even fever, chills, cough, headache, and even severe cases, lips and fingernails may turn gray to bluish in color. Okay, so this is some of the symptoms. Here you can see the life cycle right over here. The life cycle, that means the disease causing pathogens have a specific place in the body, and that is lungs. So you can see one of the life cycle, take an example of Streptococcus pneumoniae, where it can undergo both asexual reproduction as well as sexual reproduction in the same body. Completing its life cycle, when it becomes mature, it will be released out of the body, causing a lot of symptoms. When he coughs or when he sneezes, the infectious spores can pass out of the human body from the patient and can be taken by a healthy person. So the life cycle continues like this. Okay, so this is all about pneumonia disease. Now let's see the next one, that is common cold. So let's see common cold, how it can transmit or what is the causative organism. You see here, common cold is caused by rhinoviruses. They infect the nose and respiratory passage, but they do not affect the lungs. Remember, the main target tissue of the rhinovirus is not the lungs. That means when you inhale the rhinovirus, it doesn't go into the lungs, but the best place for it to stay and cause symptom are your respiratory tract. It can be nasal cavity, it can be your pharynx. So whenever a person, like droplets because of cough and sneeze of an infected person, are either inhaled directly or transmitted through the contaminated objects, such as you see pens, books, cups, doorknobs, computer keyboard or mouse, etc. So these are very commonly found objects in our day-to-day life. So especially public places like schools, if a child or a student suffer from this kind of a cold or disease, in which when he touch without cleaning the hand, all these objects can be transmitters. So if a healthy person touches it can be passed to the healthy person also. Then, what are the symptoms? They infect the nose and the respiratory passage, but not the lungs. The common cold is characterized by, like, what are the symptoms? You see, congestion, feel like suffocation, like sometimes nose gets blocked, sometimes runny nose, the mucus continuously run out of the nose, discharges, sore throat, pain in the throat, hoarseness means feel like you keep making noises like as if like something got stuck in the throat, cough, headache, and sometimes it feels so tired, and the whole symptoms can be lasted for around 3 to 7 days. So this is about common cold. And how about this one, amoebic dysentery? Amoebic dysentery is caused by a protozoan, goes by name Entamoeba histolytica. So Entamoeba histolytica is a protozoan parasite and which affects the intestinal part of humans and causes a disease called amoebiosis or amoebic dysentery. Okay. Now, what could be the vector? How the transmission takes place by a insect called houseflies. So this is a vector carrier of this Entamoeba histolytica protozoan. So that's the reason why it is best to avoid houseflies in the home. Try to keep the food warm. Try to keep the food covered, which doesn't allow the houseflies to settle upon. So houseflies, whenever it is carrying Entamoeba histolytica along with them, can leave that pathogen onto the food. So it will transmit. You can see the mechanical carrier and serve as a transmitter, especially from feces. Feces means excreta. So those people who do the excretion outside the toilet, I mean in the public places. So houseflies can capable of settling on them, and if that feces contain the Entamoeba histolytica, can be carried by this housefly to the regular houses, and then it may leave the Entamoeba histolytica directly onto the food. So that's why health health ministry or anything that is related to government encourages people not to sit or excrete outside the houses. So drinking water and food contaminated by the fecal matter are the main reasons of the infection. So that's why we need to heat the water before drinking. Symptoms of these diseases include constipation, unable to get digested, abdominal pain, cramps, muscle cramps especially, stools with mucus. Stools means that excreta or fecal matter that is coming out of the body. And the fecal matter is rich in mucus. It means a lot of, you can say, loose motions, sometimes blood also, and food products thereby contaminating them. So this is how amoebic dysentery itself means loose motions. You can see the life cycle of amoebic Entamoeba histolytica. You can see when it is contaminated or taken into the body, you see it is having multiple organs to infect. You can see it can infect or it can stay in different bodies, like you see the lungs, and it can be in the liver, it can be the large intestine, where large intestine loses the capability to retain the water. That's the reason why a lot of water can be expelled out of the body. And this is how the life cycle can take place with the different stages of its in different stages of Entamoeba histolytica in our body. So these are the three diseases today we will learn. One is pneumonia, common cold, amoebic dysentery, in which They have a different pathogens. Some of them use air, like pneumonia. Common cold also uses air, and also objects touched by the infected person. Amoebic dysentery uses housefly for transmission. They have different organs to infect. They have different types of uh, symptoms can be exposed on in the body. So these are all something that are related to our text.